What's up, guys? It's Demon Duo here, and today we're going to be doing part 5 to What If Tanjiro Was a Demon. So, let's get right into the video. So, Akaza stands straight across from the Flame Pillar Rengoku and the Sound Pillar Tengen. Both of the Hashira immediately notice how strong their new foe is, as he is upper 3 as visible by his eyes. Akaza looks directly at the new Hashira and instantly blitzes towards Tengen, punching him in the head, sending him extremely far back, hitting a tree, instantly knocking him out. Akaza looks at Rengoku, and then they start to have a duel. Akaza yells, "Circle of Death," and then bends down to make the circle all around, and then all Rengoku can do to stop it is to use his Flame Pillar first form. The ground starts to shoot up and Akaza goes in for a punch, but as he does this, a flame sword goes through his hand, cutting him up. Just like in the original scene, Akaza immediately regenerates this and licks his arm, announcing that Rengoku is extremely strong and should become a demon, and then they wouldn't have to deal with someone as weak as Tanjiro, and they could stop this fight right now. Obviously, Rengoku does not value this, and he wants to protect people, and he would never want to hurt people, so he would never become a demon. He raises his sword and announces that they have totally different ideologies, and this would never work. He yells, "Second pillar," a flame sword, and then starts swinging around, shooting fire blades at Akaza. Akaza goes around, jumps up, and uses wind scythes and shoots them all down, but this makes Rengoku realize something. He is not able to cut his head off at such a long distance. So suddenly, he blitzes towards Akaza, right at his head. He slices down, but barely misses his head as Akaza punches him in the eye, making his eyes shut, and blood starts to pour down Rengoku's face. Tanjiro, as this is all happening, Tanjiro walks over to Tengen's asleep body with a sword. And then, right as he's about to decapitate him, Tengen wakes up, hitting Tanjiro in the face, slamming him back. So, right now, it's Tanjiro and Tengen versus Akaza and Rengoku. So, basically, I'm not going to describe any more of the Rengoku fight because if you want to see how that goes, look up Rengoku versus Akaza. There's a full video. So, that's basically how that fight's going to happen. Only Rengoku is not going to die in the end because it's light too quickly. But so now Tanjiro is fighting Tengen, and then none of the outside fight kind of affects this. Tanjiro goes in again with another quick step, trying to slice him down with his blade, but Tengen's able to block it and punches him straight in the face. Tanjiro does not know what to do about this, as Tengen is obviously a better fighter and stronger. So he thinks about running away, but this might make Muzan angry, and then he'll die that way. So he does not want to do that. He calls for Nezuko, and now Nezuko is going to help him actually beat Tengen. As soon as Tengen sees Nezuko, though, he puts a blade in his mouth and blitzes towards her, immediately cutting her in half. This makes Tanjiro extremely angry, obviously, because he thinks Nezuko's about to die, and runs towards Tengen, and then tries to slice him down with his blade, but he fails. He used another exploding heart, which blasts Tengen into a tree again, but this time he's smart enough to duck down immediately and roll out the way of the tree that just collapses on him. Then Tengen doesn't know what to do besides just try to flee away, get into a better state of mind where there's no trees. So he runs and finds this middle circle of death in a forest where there's no trees, and then Tanjiro just follows him. He's like, "Tengen, now you will meet your end," and charges straight at Tengen with his blade, slicing towards his head, but Tengen is able to dodge. And then Tanjiro, as soon as this happens, activates total concentration, and then moves the sword along with the dodge, slicing off one of Tengen's arms. Tengen then screams in agony and tries to punch him with his other hand, but then Tanjiro grabs his hand and then grabs a sword and stabs it straight through Tengen's body, instantly killing him. And then as Tengen collapses to the floor, Tanjiro asks him if he does have any last words. Tengen just looks at him and says, I hate the. And then Tanjiro slices his head, immediately decapitating and killing him, letting the blood spew pour out, darkening the nearby grass. He walks over with his body and then absorbs it, and that makes him extremely powerful. And then he starts to get to work on healing Nezuko, because that's one of his demon powers. He then watches Akaza and Rengoku fight, but in the middle of their fight, it starts to get bright, and they both realize they need to run away as fast as they can. So, they do that. But while this is happening, in another place, all the lower moons except for Tanjiro were called because Tanjiro was busy. He was on him on that mission, so they didn't know what to do. And then he starts to kill all of the lower moons except for lower one because we need him. And also, he was okay with dying by Muzan, and Muzan like that, as he did in the original anime. So he survived, but all the other lower moons were dead. And then, even though Tanjiro was unable to kill Rengoku along with Akaza, he did kill by himself, basically, Tengen. So he's now going to take the place of Lower Moon 1, and he's Lower Moon 1. And then the old Lower Moon 1 is going to be Lower Moon 2, but they're both still going to be alive. They're both chill. They're both going to have a chance to become in the Upper Moon soon. So this makes Tanjiro extremely happy upon hearing the news, but he's rather sad that all the other Lower Moons were killed brutally because they could have been good teammates. And obviously, we already know that the Spider Demon is dead, so that's not really going to take much of an effect. But, like, immediately after this happens, Tanjiro just, like, gets to train for a while. He just gets to chill out, train, and along with Akaza. Akaza talks to him. Akaza teaches him how to become a better demon because Akaza also trains. And they both become very powerful along by helping each other. Even though at this current moment in time, Akaza does not like Tanjiro because he believes Tanjiro is too weak. And Akaza does not like weak people, but upon Muzan's commands, he still has to help him become strong. So Akaza resents Tanjiro a little bit. But later on, there's obviously the train incident where there's a demon on the train, and then Lower Moon 1, which is now Lower Moon 2, decides that he needs to go on the train. And because Tanjiro never is able to awake, because he's a demon now, Rengoku is actually stuck in his sleep. So that's not a good thing for him. The Lower Moon 2 guy then has to fight Rengoku by himself in his mind, subconscious. So he would still lose this. But then Akaza and Tanjiro this time are sent to go kill Rengoku at nighttime. So it's two people that are relatively strong. And let's talk about how this fight's gonna go. So Rengoku sees Akaza and Tanjiro, realizes what's about to happen, starts fighting. Akaza runs towards him just like he did in the original, punches him in the face, blitzes him basically. The fire Hashirao and Goku tries to use the fourth form, slice him up. Tanjiro comes right behind him, slitting his wrist, but not able to kill him completely. Then, after being cut, Rengoku tries to keep defending all 200 of the people, so he's not running away. He's still trying to kill Tanjiro. He thinks Tanjiro's the weaker one, so maybe he'll be able to get him, and it'll be a fair one-on-one with Akaza, but this is not possible. Tanjiro is still strong enough. He uses a love and compass of death, trapping them into a pink orb thing, and then all of a sudden tons of hearts all around them just start exploding. But Akaza and Tanjiro are actually able to regenerate because they're demons, but Rengoku is unable to regenerate. So this basically explodes Rengoku a little bit, making blood pour out of his head, shooting it up. Rengoku has no answer to this, so he just tries to cut Tanjiro because if he does kill Tanjiro, the onslaught will stop. But Akaza is able to grab him, punching through his body and making Rengoku the donut that he was, just like in the original anime, and actually killing him. So, that's actually going to be the end of part 5 of What If Tanjiro Was a Demon. I'm kind of running out of ideas here on what to do in the next part of the series. Tanjiro is actually getting relatively strong, so maybe he'll have to become a vigilante and start killing some of the demons. I wonder if that'll happen, right? So, peace out, guys, and have an amazing day.